It's funny. Someone said to me in an email, I've been with you a few years and, I've learned a lot and this is what I'm currently trading. I don't take, a lot of the alerts. I haven't been in a legacy session in a while. I trade, calls and puts, try to day trade this. I've got CTV. I do a little bit of this. I do a little bit of that, but haven't really been, you know, fully in the live rooms. And then I looked at the individual's dashboard and hadn't watched all of the modules. So kind of dare I say, a half-hearted sort of hobbyist approach to trading. But here's the thing. That individual wanted to replace their full-time income, wanted to become a full-time trader. And so I will say this to all of you. If you want the results of a professional trader, then you have to act and behave like a professional. You can't just be half-hearted or a hobbyist and then expect the results of a professional trader. When I say professional, meaning someone that's doing it for a living. You don't have to be an expert. Don't have the expectations of income replacement and having incredible success if you're not willing to do what it is that full-time traders do. Now, does that mean you can't be successful unless you know everything? No. You could absolutely make a couple of $100s a day doing CTV, CTV Plus, just part-time. You don't have to know shit about the internals. You can just follow our CTV simple methodology, which we teach. We bang it into your head. We talk about it every day. You could certainly make a couple of $100s a day doing that. You can make a few $1,000s a month swing trading here in this room. Just following my alerts with some simple rules and some allocation, you can make some money ongoing. And wouldn't that be great? Isn't that why you're all here? To make some money in the markets, yes? But if you want to make serious coin, like if you want to make 5 to 10 grand a week, it doesn't take a large account and it doesn't take someone to be an expert. What it takes is a professional mindset. Are you willing to do and behave in such a way that would produce those kinds of results? If yes, then what I just said, learning the market internals is essential. There are more of them, but these are the ones that I like to look at. So we're going to look at these. But if you're new to trading, if you're new to trade with me now, this is one of the things that you will be learning. And it'll take some time to really understand how they all work together. But yes, this is one of the things that you need to learn. Market internals. And there are many of them, but these are the ones that I like. Okay, so we're going to talk about those. The second thing you're going to have to learn about is how to read a chart and how to determine, direction, setup, and all of that. We'll just call it a setup. You're going to have to learn what is the setup for a trade. And it sometimes begins with a narrative about what the markets are doing. You're not going to want to go long NVIDIA if the narrative is that investors are dumping semiconductor stocks. You're not going to want to go long the bond portfolio, TLT, if yields are shooting up, right? So there is a setup that is sometimes requires a little bit of a narrative in there, meaning a story or some type of analysis of a sector, of an industry, of the macroeconomics that say, you know what, this is a good sector to look at. And inside that sector is Apple, Microsoft, Tesla. And here's the one I like. And here's there is a certain amount of knowledge that you will have to learn in order to find a decent setup. You could absolutely just take my alerts as of yesterday, 2024, as of yesterday, my trade alerts that I alert out in Masterclass have a 77% win rate. You will not find that anywhere else. I don't believe. I guess that's my opinion. I don't think you're going to find any place that is consistently over 60, 70%. Right now, 2024, it's at 77%. So you can make money with these. But I do believe that the market internals that we just talked about are something that you really need to learn. Take your time, and we're here for you to teach it to you and walk you through every aspect of it so you get more and more Did I say 2024 and write 2025, or did I say 2024 and write 2024? Last year was a very good year, so I just keep thinking that. I said 2024 also. I'm glad you guys pay so close attention. So market internals, absolutely. Trade setups, really important. You will learn one of the most important words you'll ever learn in trading, which is allocation, which includes how much to spend on each trade. When do you add to a trade? When do you cut a trade? At what point does the setup break? At what point do you put on a hedge on that trade? In fact, I would, dare I say, that this is another aspect of trading that you will need to learn. When do I hedge? What's a hedge? When do I hedge? How much? Which ticker? And all of that, right? So these are things that you will learn here in Masterclass, and it is an ongoing education, which is why we have people in Masterclass for 5 years, constantly learning more, not just from me, because I'm learning more. And if I learn more, I share it with you, because I am a trader, and I trade, and I'm always learning. And I take what I learn and what I trade and I feed it to you so we can all trade successfully together. Hence the name Trade with Me Now. This is why you're here. Want a better look? There, you can see that a little better. So we're going to cover some of this today so you kind of understand a little bit of that. We look at setups. Now the setups, typically I will put those in the alerts. I'll give you some of the analysis about the internals here, the macro data that we get. I put that in the alerts too. The setups go into the alerts. Usually, this is why we're trading this. And then allocation is part of your lessons that you will learn as you go through the basics and the advanced options course. Don't skip like this dude did that I just told you about before. Don't skip anything at all. Don't trade, by the way, while you're learning this. You'll learn how to hedge and you'll learn how to track, which is something that professionals do, but most amateurs don't. So those of you that have been with me for 3 months or more, ask yourself, have you been 100% tracking the alerts with comments, with a real allocation? In other words, paper trading in the trade tracker. So if I put out a trade for SPY and it's a vertical, and you can only do your pilot allocation is $300 and it's $140 for the vertical and you can get 2 of them. Did you put 2 verticals into the tracker along with comments and then eventually the exit? Have you been tracking exactly what we've been doing? Maybe you're live trading. Are you tracking it every single day? Does your current trade tracker look like this? This is what I wanted to show you. See that? 77% so far for 2025. But does your current trade tracker look like this? Show open only. Boom. Does it look like this? Do you have a current trade tracker of all the open alerts? Do you know that we have a SPY credit spread that's expiring right there? The 625, 628 is expiring today. You get to keep the credit, which gives you a 30-cent cost on the trade that we put on. Do you all have that? Did you take the Tesla trade off with a profit? Did you put notes here? We rolled up the strikes. We did this. We did this. We averaged down. We bought back the 60 calls. Did we do this? Did we do this? Yeah. If you don't, then you're not acting like a professional. So I appreciate your honesty, Stone. So, Stone, if your expectation is that you should be making money every day, every week of a certain amount, that you would say, you know what, if I'm a serious trader, like I should be making like 2 or 3 grand a week, $1,000 a week, 500 a week, or maybe 4,000 a month, whatever it is, right? If you're not consistently, and it could be a number of reasons, full-time job and other things, but still, if you're trading, this is the main point of this conversation, if trading for you is important and you have a certain expectation, are you willing to do the things that you need to do in order for that to become a reality? And I just told you all the things that you're going to need to be able to get up to speed on. Market internals, what is a true setup, tracking it correctly, of course, allocation, and hedging. This is what's necessary, and this is why you're here.
Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video from Trade With Me Now. Make sure to go ahead and like this video and subscribe to our channel so you make sure that you catch our next video right when it's released. Also, if you have a question or comment, please leave that in the comment section below. And of course, if you want to learn more about Trade With Me Now or join our community of profitable traders, go to tradewithmenow.com. There's also a link in the description below.